Hello everybody, I'm the White Angel and I am a conservative. Yes, I am very frightening to the socialists who fear the conservative because the conservative knows that the socialist has a great big heart but an itty-bitty teeny-tiny brain. He feels well but does not think well. Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you about traditional femininity. Woo! What do men love about women? Well, aside from boobs, I would say that there's a lot we like about women. Remember, it's women and children first. The men have always, historically speaking, been about self-sacrifice. It's a high masculine value, although it takes a lot of bravery. A lot of men would not want to say women and children first. Because, hey, guess what? Everybody fears dying, right? You find me the person who's not afraid to die on some level, you know? It's good to remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to do what you need to do in the presence of fear without being hindered. Anyway, why do men dislike feminists? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Way back when, feminists were actually quite good in the beginning. All they wanted was the equal rights. You know? And if we're talking about pre-Christian Western civilization, you would have had those rights and there would have been no need for feminism. But anyway, religious politics aside, they were denied the vote. They were basically treated like children. They were, basically there were men and there were girls. There were no women because they were treated like children, you know? So that initial movement was to have the rights and the same respect and privileges as a man, as a grown adult man. A grown adult woman should be able to vote. A grown adult woman should be able to sustain herself. Mind you, the attitude that you don't need no man, it's not that you need a man. It's that, excuse me, without women to offset men's behavior with their own unique set of behavior, there's no balance in society. Everything needs its opposite and its counterweight to remain functional. And for everything, there's an answer. For life, there is death. For wellness, there is sickness. For happiness, there is sorrow. You know what I'm saying? For pain, there's pleasure. So for men, there are women. If women are acting like men, then there's no counterbalance, and there creates an instability. Pretty soon, the reproduction rate goes down, and you're living in the mouse utopia. So suffice to say, I think a woman should work, provided she has no man to work for her. The woman's role in society has historically been to maintain, while a man's role is to create. He creates society, women maintain it. How do they maintain it? Well, generally speaking, aside from childbirth, women have done such things as doctors and nurses. You know, in ancient times, they practiced medicine. The origin of the cliche potion in the RPG was something that pre-Christian women would take like herbs from their garden and mix it with water and make some nasty tasting thing that ultimately healed you of illness but probably tasted like literal shit, I imagine. She keeps her men healthy, she keeps them close, she takes care of them, and she maintains everything they build. She finds cracks and holes in the wall and then fills them up. The idea of women working is a great thing, and they should work. But they should stick to what they are best at. You know, women need to stop acting like men or acting like they think they can do the things men do, because you're not men. You work differently. You have less testosterone. Your muscles are smaller and weaker. That is the truth. I am sorry. You're a very different kind of creature, and you cannot function in the same fashion. So this idea feminists have, we dislike feminists because feminists don't want women to act like women. They want women to act like men. And that's just, so horribly unappealing. And me as a bisexual man, I can say, yeah, that shit's hot when a guy does it. That shit ain't hot when a girl does it. When a girl does it, it's just fucking wrong. It's just like 10 levels of wrong. That is wholly unappealing. There. The modern woman as created by feminism is a man with vagina and boobs. Where's the appeal in that? Nowhere. I hate it. I fucking hate it. That's not a potential mate. That's a rival. That's an enemy to be crushed. Welcome to the male dominance circle. Bam! But yeah, that's why we don't find you attractive or dislike you much of the time. We also don't like cat ladies. The women who decide not to reproduce and instead have like a horde of motherfucking cats constantly mewing and scratching and licking and lapping at the milk. Don't lap the milk, kitty! It's probably full of drugs or something to make you sterile. We never know with some people. We could be poisoning animals. There could be some out there poisoning animals. Some stupid, idiotic, cruel motherfucker who likes poisoning poor innocent animals. Yeah, nasty folks. But yeah. We don't like cat ladies because they don't want to reproduce. They're not traditional women. They're some unappealing liberal chick, probably either wears no makeup at all or way too fucking much. She has masculine posture and doesn't really have the typical feminine body language. She's just unappealing, materialist. She's just a consumer of things. She doesn't maintain anything. She doesn't help her man build anything. Like, she's just a waste of space taking care of cats. That's what she is. Blah! That's about as appealing as those old Mr. Yuck stickers from when I was a kid in the 90s. We should bring that motherfucker back. I loved Mr. Yuck. He made it so clear. Do not put this in your mouth. Bring back Mr. Yuck. But talk about what most men like, is what I'm going to say. What most men like in a woman is a feminine woman. We like a curvaceous chick, possibly with some nice big thighs. She's got an attractive posterior, nice breasts, all that. And you don't have to be perfect, by the way. Just make the most of what your DNA gave you. It's kind of a lottery. You ain't got choice in it. But you can make the most of what you have. I mean, look at me. Look at this. I make the most of what I have. Is my face particularly attractive? No. It's kind of ugly, actually. I'm a little bit of an ugly man. True enough. But look at the way this beard suits the overall contour of my face. You know what I'm saying? You manipulate the contour. You put something that just looks like it ought to be there. Excuse me. That's one way you can make the most of what you have. You can exercise. You can lose weight. Plus-size women should lose weight. I know that probably hurts your feelings, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. If you want to appeal to a man, then you need to not be fat. Otherwise, you can become a liberal cat lady, since we don't find you appealing or attractive anyway. Most men like a nice feminine woman who's good at doing all the things that he isn't. She's good about talking about her feelings. She's good about, helping him maintain house and home. Be like the old Norse woman with the keys on your belt, showing that you're the master of the home. You control the house while he works outside. He built the home, but you're the one who gets to take care of it. That's how shit ought to be, right? That's what most men are going to like. Nice, feminine woman who just makes the most of what she has and is always there for him, is always supporting him. She smiles, she laughs, she's warm, matronly, the whole deal. Got to make the most of what you have. And at the very least, don't worry yourself about the things you can't change. Worry about the things you can change. and you'll be so much happier. You know what I'm saying? You'll always be happier with the stoic approach, which is exactly what I just explained. The concept of housewives as CEOs of companies is unappealing. Because, again, like I said before, when you're doing the things that men normally do, you're no longer a potential mate. Now you're just a rival. You're someone to crush in the competitive world. And we're bigger and stronger than you. We can crush you for sure. And a lot of times we're just generally more assertive because we're wired different. You are not the same as a man. You cannot function as a replacement for a man. You are different. You are not inferior. You are just different. Therefore, you should be doing different things. You should be looking to the things men don't do for what you ought to be doing. CEOs, tons of male CEOs. Now, I suppose if a woman wanted to be like a CFO, like a chief financial officer, hey, if you got the budgeting skills, get out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're running an entire company and performing an otherwise very masculine role, that's not really appealing to a lot of guys. Sorry. You're lowering your value, especially in your peak years where your value on the sexual marketplace is going to be so fucking high. You're devaluing yourself. You're not going to have children. You're just going to have money and success like a man. So, yeah, you're taking a very masculine role as a CEO. You can be a CEO if you want to, but there are consequences for every action, and that's one of them. What makes us guys fulfilled at the end of the day is to create things, to build. That is what we are. We are builders. You are maintainers. You maintain what we create, even if sometimes the things we create are kind of stupid. And yeah, we do make things that are pretty stupid. We make the fucking Dr. Pepper cancer water. This is probably killing my liver. But doesn't it taste amazing? Caffeine! I'm an absolute caffeine fiend. I have at least one caffeinated drink every day. I'm an addict. Totally hooked. I tried doing cold turkey once, and boy, I was trying to do the full 12-day thing, and I only made it like 5 days before I just couldn't function at all. Yeah, I'm hopeless. I'm hopeless. But yeah, that's what makes men fulfilled, is building, creating things, and feeling accomplished. That's part of the reason why, historically speaking, we've engaged in this thing called status signaling, where we signal our status. Sometimes it's one of the dumbest behaviors in the world. Oh, hey, look, I went out and bought this $150 imitation sword and hanging it on the wall to show you how rich I am. It is an idiotic behavior, but it is part of just showing to other guys, like, hey, we got status. We do things. You know what I'm saying? It's just... When women act that way, they're unappealing. When men act that way, they're totally appealing. And that's just how it is. If you want to be attractive, you got to act like a woman should. And that is not something we decided. That is not a construct. That is something that is written into us by our DNA and by our environment. It is our nature. If you act that way, we're just not going to find you appealing. You maintain what we create. You are ultimately the source of what we create. Because we all popped out of a woman's vagina at one point. So, like, you are literally the most valuable building material in our society. Men wouldn't be building shit if it wasn't for you ladies. So, all things considered, like, we need you. We need the hell out of you. Sure, a society where it's all men, like, yeah, things would be relatively peaceful, sustainable. But after a while, death, disease, men would disappear, no reproduction. Stress levels would be somewhat harder to manage, things would be dysfunctional. I imagine homosexual rape. It would be like living in prison, basically. An all-male society would be kind of like living in prison. That's how it would strike me. Be like that scene in Oz where the dude gets knocked down and his opponent shits on his face or something. Ugh. The fuck, man? Stupid motherfucking HBO and its anti-wholesome bullshit. Here I'm talking about being anti-wholesome, I'm swearing every other word. Hypocrite! Anyway, there will be a link below to my books on Kobo. Please buy, download, and read them. Thank you. And welcome to the revolution.